Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the shorter version of This Is Fate. June tells Anjali that he still loves Preeta and he still cares for Preeta, and he was trying to go and tell Preeta that he is Karan and not June, but Anjali stops him. And Preetfi was already in the Lutra house in disguise, right? So Sherlyn also comes to the Lutra house in disguise to look for Preetfi. So let's continue from there. Anjali angrily leaves Arjun in the room and she goes out after Arjun confessed to her that he still loves Preeta. Arjun also goes out of the room and he goes to Preeta's room. Arjun saw the wedding garland that Preeta put on the bed, and Arjun begins to remember the moment he shared with Preeta in the room in the past when he was Karan. Arjun sees his photos of when he was Karan on the wall and he gets emotional. Preeta comes out of the washroom and she begins to put on her bangles, but she was shocked seeing Arjun standing behind her. Preeta asks Arjun that what is he doing in her room. Arjun holds Preeta and tells Preeta that he loves her so much, and Preeta was shocked to hear that. Preeta angrily pushed Arjun away and she asks if he had gone mad. Preeta says that she is a married woman and yet Arjun is proposing to her. Arjun tells Preeta that he doesn't acknowledge her marriage with Rishab and he asks Preeta to marry him. Preeta tells Arjun that she is Rishab's wife and she cannot marry Arjun. Arjun was adamant and he tells Preeta that he would marry her today and right now. Arjun plays the wedding mantra on his phone and he tells Preeta that he have the wedding garland too, so they can get married now. Preeta tells Arjun that today is her wedding anniversary with Rishab and Arjun is doing all this drama. Arjun tells Preeta that if they get married today, then by this time next year, then they can also celebrate their marriage anniversary. Arjun pulls down the curtain and he asks Preeta for the lighter so that he can set the curtain on fire, and that will be their wedding holy fire. Anjali comes there and she was shocked hearing Arjun telling Preeta to marry him. Arjun holds the wedding garland and he was about to put it on Preeta's neck, but Preeta pushed him away and Anjali catches Arjun before he falls. Anjali holds Arjun and she makes him lie down on the sofa and Arjun falls asleep immediately. Anjali apologized to Preeta for what Arjun did, and Preeta tells Anjali that Arjun tried to marry her by force. Anjali tells Preeta that Arjun behaved like that because he is drunk, and Preeta should not think that Arjun is proposing to her because Arjun really doesn't like Preeta. So how will he want to marry Preeta by force? Anjali lied to Preeta that this is what Arjun always do whenever he is drunk, so he likes to propose to any woman that he sees. And Arjun had even proposed to her a few minutes ago, and that was why she brought black coffee for him to calm him down. Preeta shouted at Anjali that since Anjali knows the kind of person that Arjun is, then Anjali should have informed them before coming to the party that Arjun will be proposing to every woman at the party immediately he is drunk, then they would have known what to do. Anjali keeps on apologizing to Preeta, and Preeta angrily leaves from there asking Anjali to undo Arjun. Meanwhile, some waiters were serving drinks to the guests downstairs, and Sherlyn was also among the waiters, but she disguised herself as a waiter wearing turban and fake beard. Sherlyn begins to search for Preetfi in the Lutra house, and she thinks that Preetfi has really destroyed her life because she was once the eldest daughter-in-law of the Lutra house, but it was Preetfi who used to come and see her in disguise, but now even she has to disguise before coming to the Lutra house now. Sherlyn turns and Rishab collides with her, but Preetfi couldn't recognize that it was Sherlyn. Sherlyn sees Preeta coming and Rishab goes to meet Preeta, while Sherlyn also quickly leaves from there to look for Preetfi. Preeta wanted to tell Rishab about what Arjun did, but some guest comes there and interrupt their conversation. In the room, Anjali asks Arjun to get up and she splashes water on his face. Arjun wakes up calling Preeta's name, but Anjali tells him that it is not Preeta. Anjali asks that why is Arjun behaving like a kid. Arjun asks Anjali to let him sleep for a little longer, but Anjali tells Arjun to get up because this is Preeta's room. Anjali gave Arjun black coffee to drink so that he can be sober, and Anjali asks that why did Arjun came to Preeta's room. Arjun tells Anjali that this is his room and it was Preeta who snatched the room from him, so he will not leave. Anjali tells Arjun that he will realize his mistake later. Downstairs, Mahesh tells Preeta and Rishab that Raki is not letting him eat sweets today, even though they are celebrating a happy occasion. Raki tells Preeta that Mahesh has already eaten ladus, and the most embarrassing part is that Mahesh snatched a bowl of sweets from a kid and he shamelessly ate the sweet. So that is enough, and Raki takes Mahesh away from there. Rishab and Preeta begins to laugh, and Rishab asks Preeta if they would also be arguing like this as husband and wife when they get to his parents' age. Preeta feels awkward, and Rishab quickly changed the topic. In the room, Arjun asks Anjali to take his photos on the phone, and he would put the photo among the rest of his photos in his room. Anjali asks Arjun to stand up and leave the room, but Arjun tells Anjali that Preeta snatched his cupboard from him to keep all her clothes, and while talking nonsense, Arjun falls asleep on the bed. Anjali thinks that Arjun had already forgotten his revenge plan because of his love for Preeta, and she wonders how to stop Arjun and make him remember that he should not go close to Preeta. Arjun finally wakes up and Anjali taunts him, saying that so he is finally awake. Arjun asks Anjali that what did he do while he was drunk. Anjali tells Arjun that he cannot drink like this ever again after today. Arjun asks that what did he do, and Anjali tells Arjun all what he did and how he proposed to Preeta. Arjun was shocked hearing what he did while he was drunk, and he asked himself that how can he do that. Anjali tells Arjun that he misbehaved because he is stupid, and she can now see that Arjun looks like an angry young man, but there is a kid inside him even till now. Arjun asks Anjali that what was Preeta's reaction after he proposed to her. Anjali lied to Arjun that Preeta happily accepted his proposal. Arjun was happy, and Anjali says that she knows that this is what Arjun wanted to hear, but that is not the truth because Preeta pushed him away in anger. Arjun gets angry hearing that Preeta pushed him away, and Arjun says that it is Anjali's fault because Anjali was not drunk, so Anjali should have stopped him from getting drunk or misbehaving. Anjali asks Arjun that how can he blame her when she had no idea how Arjun got to Preeta's room in the first place. Arjun tells Anjali that they have to clear the mess now, but Anjali tells Arjun that she has already handled the matter and she lied to Preeta that this is how Arjun usually proposes to every girl whenever he is drunk. Arjun got angry, asking that how can Anjali tell Preeta that he always proposed to every girl. Anjali asked that what should she have done when Arjun went and proposed to Preeta, and if Arjun had proposed to her instead of Preeta. Just then, Anjali realized what she had just said, and she kept quiet. Arjun asks Anjali that what will Preeta think about him now after what he has done, and Arjun tells Anjali that they have to handle the situation, and Arjun takes Anjali away from there. In the kitchen, Raja asks Prithvi that why did Prithvi wants to destroy Rishab's party. Prithvi lied to Raja that he and Rishab were business partners in the past, but Rishab betrayed him and he lost a lot of millions because of Rishab, so that is why he wants revenge. Bunty says that Prithvi doesn't even look like someone who had thousands of money in the past, so how can Prithvi say that he lost millions of money? Prithvi got angry and he tries to fight with Bunty, but Raja stops them and he asks them to concentrate on what they are here for. Vishu brings out all the guns and he distributes the guns to everyone. Prithvi also takes one gun, saying that he did not know that they are this professional and they even have guns. Little Sona comes there and they all hide their guns. Prithvi asks Sona that who is she. Sona introduced herself to Prithvi as the granddaughter of the Luthra grandma's friend, and Prithvi introduced himself to Sona as Daljit. Prithvi asks Sona that what is she doing there. Sona tells Prithvi that she is searching for caviar. Prithvi asks that who is Caviar. Sona tells Prithvi that Caviar is Rishab and Preeta's daughter, and Sona leaves from there. Prithvi looks on in shock and he says to himself that Caviar is Rishab's younger brother Karan's daughter, but the Luthras are lying to everyone that Caviar is Rishab's daughter. Prithvi leaves from there and Vishu tells Raja that if Arjun is Rishab's younger brother, then Caviar is Arjun's daughter. Raja tells Vishu that how is it possible? Prithvi comes back and he asks them not to waste time, so they should follow him, so they all leave from there. Raja wonders and he thinks that if Arjun and Rishab are truly brothers, then why is their surname different? Because Arjun is bearing Arjun Suryavanshi, while Rishab is bearing Rishab Luthra. Raja thinks that he has to find out the truth, and during the party, he would hold Rishab and Arjun at gunpoint, and he would find out if they are truly related or not. Alright guys, thank you so much guys for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, share it, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.